Evening viewers, round 6 action here. We're at the challenging Suzuka circuit for the iRacing.com in conjunction with the Race Spot TV broadcast of the official iRacing V8 Supercar Championship. I'm Brett O'Brien. Sammy Compton will be with us shortly. He's having some technical issues, but yeah, Suzuka circuit, a fantastic track, such a challenging layout, 19 turns, and there's been plenty of drama here over the years. I know obviously Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost years and years ago, probably maybe before a lot of our viewers were even born, having their incidents in the F1s back in the 80s and early 90s. They were great times, no doubt. But the great times are going to still continue here with the V8 action. At the moment we've got the 3.5 minutes left of qualifying to go. Ethan Greg Galt as holding provisional pole. He's been very dominant here this week, dominated the V8 Supercar America Series on Saturday, won that extremely convincingly. And it's great to have George Maris back in the series as well. Haven't seen George for a while, running for ANZ, I believe. He's half a second off the pace. Marcelo Rivera, he's had all sorts of dramas, netcode issue in the early race today, and also some dramas in the early Blancpain series as well, so maybe there might be some netcode issues there. Bo Cattell, Mick Cracknell and Josh Rogers, who drove so brilliantly last week, defending for his 4th position, I think it was at Lime Rock Park, is qualifying 6th position at the moment. We've got 9.5 minutes to go, so we've got a pretty strong field, the 19 cars in what's going to be a pretty long race. Weather today is partly cloudy, 22 degrees, so the track temperature is 36 degrees. It's fairly windy, it's around 19-20 k's an hour from the southeast. So 32 lap race. There is a possibility that you can fuel save and get to the finish, but I'm not sure that's a realistic way to go. I know Ian Ford in the early race tried it with a bit of success, came second behind teammate Maverick Welding teammate Andy Carey, who had a maiden win, I think it was, in the V8 Supercar, so congratulations to him for that. But this is the main event, the 8:15 or the 9:15 race in the eastern states, I guess. And yeah, looking forward to some plenty of action here. I'm just seeing if we've got Sammy Compton is with us. Sammy, welcome to the broadcast.
Yeah, cheers.
What the hell? You've been too much helium there, Sammy.
Yeah, cheers, mate. I'm just having a few technical issues here, Brett, and I'll be with you in a moment.
Righto. Well, yeah, that was Helium Sammy. Well, we've got the just a minute and a half to go now, so cars will probably be on their last lap for a few of them. Mick Cracknell has also had a strong week. STC put a lot of time and effort into their laps this week, and the STC boys are running 1 and 2 at the moment. Maris 3rd, Marcelo Rivera in 4th. Mario Vlasic is the last of the cars so far to put a time in. He's 3 seconds off the pace, so quite a significant gap this week. But such a challenging track and such a testing track as well. It's really big on the setups this week. And Jason Dixon moves to 6th, so we know he runs the STC setups as well. So STC looking very strong here. Still don't have a time from Ellis Teal at all, or last week's pole winner, in fact, Corey Preston. I think he announced himself as an alien this week, so maybe he's going to try and do something completely alien this week and win from the back of the field, or get a podium from the back of the field. Yeah, look, the same issues are going to belie us again. We've got the 2 Europeans in the field, and we've got some high ping. I think that issue is being addressed. We're just getting some more evidence about that. And if you can find more evidence of that type of thing happening in the Australian service, don't be scared to give iRacing a call. We'll drop them a message, because yeah, it's certainly putting a bit of pressure on the Aussie series, not just in the V8s but all around. So as the checkered flag comes out for qualifying, Ian Ford's on his last lap. He just goes through the casino triangle here, that little chicane at the end of his lap. That car bounces all over the place if it hits the curb, and he's backed out of it, so no improvement there. So Ian shall remain in 5th place. Looking behind, Josh Rogers is also exited Casino Triangle. He's on the power here as he crosses the strike. He was in 8th place at 205.146. Has improved to 204.9, so a 2/10 improvement. However, there's no improvement in position there. Anthony Manzarella is also, where's he at? Oh, he's just rounding spoon, so long drag down here for Anthony Manzarella. 13th position, 205.999. He's had some laps here in the this week in the V8. Came fourth, I think, in the early race today, so showing a bit of form and just looks good under brakes here. I'm not sure if his sector times up into here. Exiting here as he goes across the strike to see if there's an improvement. A 5.999 was the original, a 5.2. That is a good improvement, a 7/10 a second improvement. So that's taken him from 13th up into the top 10. So congratulations to him. Bo Cattell also looks like he's improved with a 4.5, taking him up into 6th position. So we've got 1, 2, 3 cars with a 2.04.5, but that will be it for qualifying for what is round 6 of the official iRacing V8 Supercar Championship, brought to you by RaceSpot TV. So the grid, if we could put that up, Mr. Director, please, we'll go through that. Not sure if there's any corrections. Yes, Andy Carey has actually made an improvement as well. So Andy Carey's got himself in the top 10. And birthday boy Marty Carroll, we'll talk a bit more about the telegram he got from the Queen later on. So yeah, that's our qualifying for round 6. Ethan Grigdol, welcome back again. Showed some strong pace last week, coming second last week to Bo Cattell, our race winner. So Ethan Grigdol, 203.792, pretty dominant, let's be honest. It was 0.2 better than teammate Mick Cracknell, who's showing some good form again. Marcelo Rivera, first of the ERA drivers, at 204.205. George Maris again, welcome back to the series with him, 204.250. Ian Ford, Bo Cattell, Jason Dixon in 7th. Josh Rogers maintains his good form at 204.9. Anthony Manzarella snuck himself into that top 10 with teammate Andy Carey in 10th place there. Marty Carroll, Dylan Golson again, who's done a pretty good job, put in a bit of drama at the Blancpain series on the weekend from what I understand. Richard Alwood for Mad Cow, Wayne Kendall, Jeremiah Morton, LIC Motorsports, Brenton Hobson, Mario Vlasic, all put in good times. Ellis Teal and Corey Preston didn't get a time in, which is surprising considering 12 minutes has been run, done and won, and obviously had some issues there. So Corey's gone from hero to zero this week, unfortunately for him. He started on pole last week, so it's a bit of a different view for him, and I think he goes pretty well here, so I'm confident he'll get a good job done and make some gains early. Revs are building. Green flag, away they go. And good start by Ethan Grigor and Mick Cracknell. George Maris cooperated for him and also for Ian Ford. So looks like it's going to be holding station. Corey Preston at the back, deep under brakes, has already made a couple of spots. But up the front, very controlling start by the STC team. That's exactly how they would want it. Ethan Grigor doesn't get the pole position that often, but when he does, he generally tends to drive away. And I'm thinking he's very, very strong around this track. Mick Cracknell, Ian Ford's got through teammate Marcelo Rivera, so a swap position there between the two. It does look pretty clean. Bo Cattell, Josh Rogers, yep, so it all looks pretty clean. Oh, Marty Carroll's had a bumper of a start, actually. He's actually jumped both of the Maverick Welding cars, so Marty's gone from, I think he was 11th to start with, so he's moved himself up to 9th, so a good start there by Marty Carroll.
Yeah, talk about late for the party. Sorry, Brenton,
hey.
I'm with you now. Having some serious login issues.
So you're making up for leaving early last week by getting here late this week. Good thinking. I thought it was supposed to be the other way around.
Oh, a bit of contact there with Bo Cattell.
Yeah, a bit of contact there. I'll let you settle into things there, Sammy. I'm just keeping my eye on Corey Preston's first lap here. He's already overtaken 4 cars. He's got Brenton Hobson and Dylan Golston in his sights next, and he's making a decent old move here on Brenton Hobson. So that's 5 cars in the opening lap for Corey Preston. This is a guy who took pole position last week, and he's already made significant gains through the crowd here. So, yeah, a great first lap. It looks like it's all been pretty clean too.
Yeah, he's had a cracker of a start. Looks like he's been putting in lots of practice this week and just might not quite have nailed his qualifying time. And yeah, he's setting the pace out there now.
And Cattell's just gone a little bit wide on the exit there of 130. Andy Carey making a move on Jason Dixon's going to get squeezed on the exit there of the Casino Triangle. And as they cross the line for lap 1, good clean start by everybody, and it's a good start also for Marty Carey. Just dropped that one spot, but I'm keeping my eye on Corey Preston. He's making a move on the inside of Dylan Golson after what was a good drive at the exit there.
Yeah, not close
able
enough.
To hold on. Yeah, but now look at him here as he goes into
Here
turn 2. And he's going to make that stick, is he?
Well, they're going to be too wide coming into this left-hander. Oh, he pushed, doesn't give him much room, but he's got it. Well, yeah, he's got it done.
Yeah, good driving by both the guys there. Dylan could have made life a little bit more hard for difficult for Corey there. Chose not to. Keeps them both in the race, but Corey's already overtaken 6 cars. And in front of him now is Richard Arwood. So Richard qualified 13th and has dropped the 1 position. No, he's up in the 12th. So Corey's got himself up in the 13th already. That's up from 19th on the grid, so that's an awesome performance.
Yeah, it really is. What happened to Corey? What happened? Why did he start so far back? You'll have to fill me in a little bit there.
Well, just no time registered, mate, so I can't fill you in much there. Unfortunately, in the meantime, there's been a position change for third. Ian Ford has moved through on George Maris there, so the STC guys might have a bit of company soon. In Ian Ford, he tried to do a fuel economy run in race 1, didn't pit, not sure what his intentions are there. I don't think it worked. His teammate Andy Kerry took the win, but let's just see how this goes. And the strategy is here is that there is going to be a pit stop needed, 32 laps. I think the guys at race pace will probably get to about 27 laps if needed. So it's just a matter of when's a good time to pit. I did notice that Ethan on Saturday in the Americas race pitted on lap 19. This might be a different circumstance, but that was an incredibly dominant win, probably one of the most dominant wins that we've seen in the V8's Americas. And yeah, he's done a fantastic job in the opening laps here, and for the first time in a long time, Ethan doesn't have traffic to deal with early. He's up and away and can stretch his legs.
Yeah, that's right. Good to see Mick Cracknell up there in the second spot, but he's only 1.3 back from the leader, Ethan Grigg-Galt, and Ian Ford about 3 seconds back from the leader as well. So, yeah, a bit of work to do, but like you said, long race, pit stop, lots of strategy. Marcelo Rivera had a little touch there on George Maris and nearly spun him, but great recovery by George.
Yeah, I think Marcelo just stuck the nose in there a little bit, and that's probably put him a little bit out of sync here now for the S's. And I know Kimi Räikkönen and Mika Häkkinen both separate times have said, how do you handle the S's? And I think it was Kimi Räikkönen who said the best is you don't handle the S's handle you. And there's so many different lines that you can take there, and if you just go off that your preferred line, you just seem to lose that momentum, and that's what's happened here. Both cars have dropped way off the back of Ian Fordy. They've dropped over a second. Oh, now Ford's made a mistake. Yeah. At the second Dagner, so he just said that he's getting away. Yeah.
Quite a battle going on behind him too, with Bo Cattell and Marcelo Rivera, who's there behind Bo.
Yeah, see Marcelo's brake a bit too deep there, and Bo Cattell's got through on Anthony. Sorry, I'll get this right in a second, I do promise you. Marcelo Rivera, hello, in a long, long day. Again.
Yeah, I heard there's a bit of a kangaroo issue going around where you live right now.
Yes, we've got kangaroo issues at our place. Yes, we've got a...
For all our international viewers.
Well, it's actually quite a sad story. We normally have a family of kangaroos out the back. And sometimes Dad kangaroo says no one can come out and play, so we don't go out and bother them too much. But it looks like over the weekend, Mum and Dad have died, and we've got a baby one out the back who might need a bit of attention, unfortunately. So, yeah, it's a bit sad.
Oh, 40's got into here. George. Oh, no, the car's going everywhere. Oh, no.
That's end of story for Ian Ford.
Cluster.
Yeah, that's end of story for 40. Have to catch a replay of that. It looked very, very aggressive by Ian there. It's definitely got a lot of pace on it. Oh, has George moved over? Oh, George is extremely slow. But look at the net code from Josh Rogers onto Ian Ford's car. I first of all, I'll go say I think Ford is in the wrong for doing that in the first place. But I don't think Josh or Ian deserve the damage that happened after that. That was
more going on, mate. We've just, while we're in the replay, there's been a huge incident. Jason Dixon. Let's see what happened. Oh, he's got turned. They've both turned. Oh,
Yeah, it's getting a bit
we're going to have
messy
to get a
now.
replay of that as well, I think, to show that for the viewers. Not
Yeah,
sure
it's
who it
well,
was.
who's he turned by? Was that George Maris
Yeah, it's
recovering
George.
off the
That's what I
track?
thought it was, yeah.
So George is recovering off the track. Where is he? What's going on here?
Go right back and have a look at that from the start.
You know, I'm just on board with Jason now.
Well, I'll tell you what, it hasn't slowed George down, and he hasn't had room to breathe it since this race started. Well, at least since I've joined.
Yeah, he's been
Quite
a
the
busy
battle.
beaver, there's no doubt. But
Having a
yeah,
look at the replay from Dixon. It's kind of
Yeah,
hard
but
to see even what happened.
it doesn't look anything major. At the end of the day, though, I'm not just speaking on behalf of the V8 community, whether it be the official races or Star Mazda race, any race that's the majority of Australians. This is bad. Corey Preston now has
Another
ended
one.
up in a wall. Yeah, this is getting a real bit messy here. I think Corey and Dylan Golson have had contact. Corey's tried to get back on the track, taken out. Who's that? He's taken out Ellis
Looked
Teal
like-
pretty
was it
badly,
Brian? No.
which has gone
Yeah.
on to Brenton Hobson, and yeah,
He
that's bad.
He came back on the track, but he was still
Yeah.
lighting up the rears and totally sideways. And, yeah.
So
Oh, then he
Corey's
gets spun again.
yeah, Corey's good work is all undone there, and and then he's spun it into
So
the
who's
casino
left?
triangle. Yeah, like I said, I think it's about time the Australian community, like I said, I don't care if it's V8s and people will jump up and down about this, that and the other, but we've got to make some noise here. So whether it's Skip Barber's, Star Mazda's, and Mazda MX-5s, I don't care which class it is. The Australian guys here, there's 17 of the 19 guys are Australian, and the lowest ping for an Australian guy I can see is 266. Richard Arwood is running 19th, or sorry, car 19 is running at 458. So we need to start making some noise about this because it is ruining racing. iRacing, you sponsor the event, thank you, love you for it, but this needs to be seriously looked at, and there's enough evidence to show that it is certainly not helping the Australian iRacing community.
No, that's right. It does need to get fixed. I know there's been a lot of talk with the management and stuff, and yeah, I think it will happen. It's just a matter of when.
So up in P7, we've got the birthday boy. It's a big day for Marty today. Got a telegram from the Queen celebrating his birthday, so he's pretty happy about that, the old fella. But he's got to be the company behind in Anthony
Be about the
Mansarella. These guys,
same age as the Queen, isn't he?
no. You know what you do. Don't you know what happens when you get a telegram from the Queen?
No, mate. Fill me in. I've been out of Australia too long.
Well, you don't have to be in Australia, mate. You get a telegram from the Queen if you reach 100 years old.
Oh, of course. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so these guys here have chipped in and certainly cashed in on the. Wow, we'll give you another history lesson later on. These guys have certainly cashed in on the downslide of a few of the cars, and Marty's got himself up in the 7th. Anthony Mansarella has worked his way up to 8th. Richard Arwood behind them. These guys are starting to get pretty quick though. Pit Racy 207.3 for Marty's last lap. Andy Kerry up in the 6th. We got Josh Rogers, who, considering how hard the hit was on Ian Ford, does not have a scratch on that car. So
No, it's looking
again,
pretty clean.
yeah, so there's your confirmation in regards to the netcode problems that is, it's affecting the race.
It's a problem.
You can't-
It is.
It is a problem, and it is affecting the race. And no one wants to see the Australian iRacing community have their races affected like this. But it's something, like I said, to make noise about and we'll work on, and I don't need to talk about it again.
Well, just while we are talking about it, like it just shows, 2 laps ago we had V8 supercars racing side by side, nose to tail, great racing, and then a couple of big netcode incidents, and it's just really strung the field out and really taken away what was a great race. And hopefully it comes back soon and everyone catches up after the pit stops a bit. So yeah, that's my opinion, but we'll just leave it alone. And going back to Marty Carroll, he hasn't done a lap here before this race, so we should be seeing some either A, improvement from him, or B, some big mistakes, which are just going to cost him later in the race.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he has done a lap. I know he's worked long hours and also had a mild commitment with lawn pain. But I know the STC guys have done a lot of laps here this week, and you can see that with up the front. Mick Cracknell and Ethan Grigg certainly at this stage running away with it. But this is a good little battle here led by the old boy. He's probably backing him up a little bit, but certainly nothing too significant. They don't look like they're challenging him by any means.
Well, he's had a few alcoholic celebratory beverages as well, I've heard on the grapevine, so hopefully there's no RBT up around the corner.
No, well, I've actually been to Suzuka Circuit. I actually used to live 20 minutes down the road from here, believe it or not, in a place called Suit, in between Suzuka Circuit, between Suit and Nagoya. It's a great little part of town, to be honest with you. And Grand Prix time, whether it's a MotoGP or the F1s, this place just comes alive. It's pretty sleepy in between that, but around Grand Prix time, it's a magnificent area. It's a great environment to be.
I could imagine, mate. The sake would be flowing quite freely, I'm sure.
Yeah. Nothing in Japan's free, but I know exactly what you're getting at, and yes, it was. Got to have it warm though, Sammy.
Okay, sounds great. No, it's definitely on my bucket list, Japan. It's one place I really want to visit. So let's just go through the field here at the moment, just give everyone a bit of a catch-up. We've got Ethan Grigg-Gault's got 3-second lead to his STC Motorsports comrade Mick Cracknell, and Bo Cattell in P3, Marcelo Rivera P4, Josh Rogers P5, and down to Andy Carey, the old birthday fella, Marty Carroll, Anthony Mansorella, Richard Elwood, P9, and Dylan Golson, P10. Quite a way back there, though.
Yeah, it is, but at least he's still going, and the amount of cars that have been affected, obviously, like I said, we lost Ian Ford pretty early, and hang on 2 secs.
George Maris seems to have recovered a little bit. He's catching up to Richard Elwood here a little bit. George is showing a bit of damage on his right rear. It's nothing too substantial, but he's on the grass under braking.
I'm not sure how his braking is going to be.
He might have been having a few drinks with Marty. There's quite a good battle there.
Sustained a bit of damage back there, hadn't he, in the back? But certainly, I thought Ian actually hit him a lot harder than what the car's showing damage for, but still got a bit of pace about him. This is the guy who put in a very strong qualifying position and 4th position. He's back now with the pack in 10th place, but certainly a 2:06.4 last lap. He's the quickest of the pack in front.
Yeah, look at him. Oh, he's quick there, maybe a little bit too quick. He's run wide and missed his marker, but he should get a decent drive out of that corner.
And Marcelo Rivera's also made good gains as well on Bo Cattell, so this will be interesting. Marcelo's fairly racy at the moment, shall we say. He's had a bit of a shocking week with a few incidents here and there. I think he'll put his hand up for most of them and say might have stuffed up once or twice, but certainly made some gains there. I think, to be honest with you, I don't think we'll see a lot of the STC boys tonight. I called that before the race started, and I was very confident that those two would probably walk away with this race, and that's pretty much what's happening at the moment.
Yeah, we've got a good battle on here though with the old fella Marty Carroll, Anthony Mansorella, Richard Elwood, and George Maris. So got some action here. Anthony's all over the back of the old bloke, so see if he can get past nice and cleanly here.
Yeah, you can't help but feel that if Anthony does get a pass on Marty here, he'll probably stretch his legs a little bit and get away, but Marty's drive out of the hairpin there just seems to get him that much further away and takes away the opportunity to challenge from Mansorella. And then as they go into Spoon here, this long left-hander which just seems to go on forever and ever, drop from third down to second to get that turn in. But getting on the power here, this is so important and sets you up. And you look at the car behind Richard Elwood, just got that wheel spin on exit of Spoon, and straight away that's put George Maris in a very strong position to challenge the 130R.
2x2 right up against his mirror here. He should be able to get it done if it's clean. I think he might have made that pretty easy on him there. Don't really want to go through there too wide.
Yeah, well, Rich is such a good, clean driver, and he's got excellent racecraft. I'm sure, well, I'm hoping most of the people agree with me there. But he poor old Rich tends to run by himself a little bit in the Mad Cow team, which had an extremely strong weekend in the Blomphane Series. But he does tend to run the V8s by himself, so he does a pretty good job week in, week out. Down to 10th position now, though.
Yeah, I think that might have just been a smart strategic move. So pretty smart driving there by Richard, I think. I think we'll see him picking up a few spots later in the race.
Yeah, well, pit stops are still to come. We're on lap 9 of a 32-lap race, so still a long way to go. George Maris certainly looking racy here on the back of Anthony Mansarello, and thinking that if George does get through, he'll quickly get up to the back of Marty and challenge him. What is that 7th position?
Yeah, and just when we're saying that Anthony was catching Marty, like Marty's putting in some pretty good corners here. Like I said, Marty hasn't done much practice, so he's learning every lap, and yeah, we'll see if he gets a bit of pace. This hopefully doesn't make a mistake. You know what it's like with reflexes as you push on?
No, I'm sure you'll tell me later on.
I'm sure you'll find out in the next 6 months, mate.
Just found out about 15 years ago. But I think it's such a long track, it's such a challenging and so many different aspects to it. You got the fast turns and the slow turns, the 2 Degners, obviously very technical, obviously with the S's as well. So you can set your car up. You're not going to get it right everywhere, so you can set your car up, maybe specialise in a particular area and get by, whether you want good tuning, good drive out, whatever. This track's got it all, hasn't it, that you can prefer. But I do like the way that George is going here. He's certainly got his car well and truly up to pace. Now that's the old ANZ skin I think he's running, well certainly on my screen it is.
Yeah, like I said, I had a few little issues here at the start of the race, so I'm just going to update my trading plans now.
We'll jump on board with George Maris for this lap, and in front of us, he's awful, we almost didn't get a chance to have a lap.
He's doing a boat.
So in front of us we've got Anthony Mansarello in the Maverick Welding Ford Falcon. Why he has a Ford Falcon, I do not know. But so George comes into here, this long turn 1, turn 2 complex here. So they're dropping down the 3rd gear. And this is the technical part here with the S's. So generally trying to hold the tighter apex here. But some will try and say that just stick to the middle. That's inside. The middle lane's the fast lane, but I'm not sure it's the case with the V8s. I think they need to use all the track and some, just obviously the lower grip level that they've got. So as they get this drive out of here, there's a little hump there, so you just got to be careful not to have the power on too much as they enter the first of the Degners. So 3rd gear, 2nd Degner here, dropping down to 2nd gear. You can hold that pretty tight. Get a little bit loose here on the exit. And as they come up to the hairpin here, so we'll just punch into 4th, knocking down to 2nd. We're going to have a bit of a look in the inside here. Good driving. Got close enough to see Anthony's necklace there for a while, so we're pretty much right on board with Anthony as well. But in the meantime, the ANZ car of George Maris, car number 11's put in a pretty good lap. He's recovering after a bit of an incident with Ian Ford earlier. Just inconsistent there with the power as they go through Spoon. This is where such an important part of the track if you want to attack. 2nd gear for turn in, shorts to 3rd. Get on the power early if you can. Stay in that draft, and it's not going to be easy to attack at 130R. What you're doing is you're setting yourself up for casino trying after that technical little chicane there. Sorry, I was just having a look at something. Yeah, he's not going to be in a self-position here.
Oh, he's going to look, yeah. Bit of a lock-up though. I tell you what, he's giving it 100%. There's no doubt in that. This race, George is giving it everything he's got.
Yeah, he is. Good driver, George. And you can see the wheel spin on exit there by Anthony Mansarello. And I think we'll stay with this.
Got to run.
I think you're about to see a position change. Problem here is the gearing of these cars. You'll hear them probably top out in 6 right now.
Gets it done.
So I reckon he's got it done. Yeah, good clean move. And like I said, with the gear settings these guys are running, it's not as easy as you think to pass into turn 1 because they'll all be topping out. But I think you might find some have got different gear ratios, but I think the fastest setup is the 350 setup where you do run out of gears at the end there.
Yeah, let's see if he can catch Marty now. And we know Marty's hard to get by. He's slow in and fast out on all these long straightaways, and it's pretty good through the S's, old Marty. So the George has closed the gap pretty quick.
Yeah, I've got no. Well, I'm going to say he's going to catch Marty because he already has. So you just see his race pace after this, and again, look at the drive out. He's got really good grip coming out of these slower corners, and he's going to put himself in a position. I reckon he'll attack Marty as they go into the Casino Triangle. He's just setting himself up here.
When does the pit window open, Britton? What's your thoughts on that?
No, the pit window's open. They can come in now if they want to. I don't think they need to, though. I'm just thinking with George, if he can get this move done in the next lap or two, I don't think there'll be a need for him to come in. I think he'll still be okay. I'm thinking Ethan will pit probably lap 18, 19. These guys here, it's all up to track position. And if George feels he's being held up, and I don't think he's actually going to challenge into 130R here. This will be interesting.
Yeah. Ooh, good work, Marty. Kept his head and just drove it back around the outside. But the reason I was asking is
going to stick his nose in here. Hang on a sec.
He's in there. Oh, he's had to take.
No, it's good driving.
Yeah, good
No,
stuff.
there's nothing wrong with that.
No, the reason I was asking
Mancerella's
about
got a
the
better
pit
drive
stops,
out.
so I was wondering whether the way George has been driving, he's probably fried up his tyres a bit. Don't know how long they're going to hold on for. Great little race we got going on there.
I think he'll be alright at the moment. The track temp 36 degrees, so it's not massively hot. You'd probably call it middle of the road. I think their tyres will go off, there's no doubt, but we're only going to start at lap 12 of what is a 32 lap race, and I think if George wants track position, he'll pit next lap, unless he makes a pass. But down the road of these two, it's already a 7-second gap to Andy Carey, so he's not going to make that up even by making that earlier stop now.
No, but you know what else this is doing? This is dragging 3 more drivers up into this battle. This is bringing Richard Elwood, Dylan Golson and Jason Dixon right into this.
That was a chop by Marty then. I don't think George was making a move, but certainly came across the bow pretty hard there. And again, look at the drive out of that corner, the second Degnan by George. And let's see how hard this is defended.
Marty, one thing Marty is good is that it's under brakes, so good driving.
Yeah, let's see if he gets a drive out here. Watch George on the power. So he's going to have to defend into the spoon here as well, which is probably not the hardest place to defend, to be honest with you. They come in pretty hot there in third gear. Well, they come in fourth and down to third.
Oh, a little mistake by Marty.
Here we are saying that Marty's gone too deep, but if Marty can get on the power early enough, he'll get a good drive out.
Really good drive.
In fact, if now he's in a position where Anthony Mancerella, if he can hold on to that, he'll have the high ball to mark.
Marty's going to clear him, maybe.
George will have him. Yep, sorry, Marty's got him.
And then we got Richard right on the tail there as well. This is turning really quickly. Oh, Marty runs wide into a 6-car
Marty's
battle.
off again. Oh, deep by George, and what a move, Anthony on the outside.
Yeah, the lack of laps is showing with Marty. He's driving great, but just a few little key spots where he probably hasn't had enough laps. As we've got some action in the pits.
Significant. Yeah, this is a good move by both these guys, I reckon.
Richard and Jason Dixon into the pits,
this is
lap 13.
Really, really good move, and this will have an effect. Brent Hobson in as well. This will flow upwards. Mancerella will probably pit next lap, and George will probably pit, and Marty will pit, and it will flow on up and up and up. So this is the first move, lap 13.
Yeah, you keep an eye on the racing, mate. I'll keep an eye on who comes out first.
Well, they're not going to need too much fuel, probably just enough for about 25
it's tight.
litres.
They're too wide on exit. Yeah, so Richard gets out just in front of Jason. Jason probably gained a few car lengths there.
Oh, in the meantime, Marcelo Rivera and Bo Cattell have just been doing a bit of Morse code to each other. Marcelo's through. I didn't see that passing move there, but Bo Cattell certainly, Marcelo's going to be really wide there. Certainly Bo Cattell gave him a bit of a tap into the hairpin there, so whether an incident occurred beforehand, didn't see it at all, but let's just see what the car 8 can do now that he's clear. of Bo-Catel. Marcelo's shown some pace here. He just hasn't had a chance to get to the finish line, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do. So we're just showing you that pass now. You got to fix that mic up there, Sammy. Oh, the return of Helium Man. Well, actually, the pass looked pretty clean. Oh, actually, Bo-Catel just went off at the exit of Degner 1. So, yeah, oh, and then on early to the power, probably too much wheel spin. That spot has given Bo-Catel a chance to just do that little love tap on the back there at the hairpin. Wouldn't be surprised now if we see Bo-Catel pitting. No, doesn't pit.
And,
No. You got to get that right, Sam.
Check one.
There you go. That's
Yeah, no, so I don't know what's going on. There's a few shortcuts. I've just moving house, so I've had to redo it. Marty Carroll's been passed by Dylan Golston as well while you were watching the replay of the P3 battle.
What we need to
Marty's
keep our eyes is the lap times of Richard Arwood and Jason Dixon. These guys are going to be running neck and neck here as they enter the last chicane here, and their lap times will be significant. Now they've got some new rubber on. They want to try and clear the Mansarella, Marty Carroll, and maybe even George Maris as well. I'm not sure they'll get to George, who's shown some pretty good pace now that he's been released, but interested to see what these guys can do.
Yeah, we might have to wait till next lap to see what type of pace they're running, but they're definitely looking pretty quick.
Yeah, well, Richard's 36 seconds behind Marty, so we're going to use Marty as the mark there, even though he has just been passed by Dylan Golston. So we might actually use Anthony Mansarella as the mark there, and he's 36 seconds up on Aylward, so we'll be keeping an eye on that.
Yeah, Dixon's looking pretty good behind Richard, but I think he's just going to be smart. Just try and put some good laps in.
So and also keeping an eye on George Maris, 206.5 last lap for him. That's his third best lap of the race so far. So he was
Dixon's making a move on Richard, and he gets it done. I think Richard might have let him go there as well a little bit easily. Dixon's probably got the pace on him. Had a few dramas early on. He's got a bit of left front quarter panel damage, but he's still looking pretty quick.
I think that was all part of the last chicane schmozzle there with Ford and Maris there. I think Dixon got caught in amongst that as well. But yeah, certainly Jason Dixon is up and away now, and like I said, be keeping an eye on his lap times, as Mansarella just did a 207.2. Now he's in 8th position, so this is the guy who was only just in front of Dixon and Harwood at that pit stop, so I'll be interested to see how that goes.
Yeah, Marty Carroll into the pits, so probably a smart move. He was starting to drop off the pace a little bit.
I'll tell you what, who's also dropped off just a little bit is Bo-Catel. I know we're saying dropped off, he's just done a 206 flat, but he looks like he's struggling as well compared to the car in front. And this is this guy who won last week and won very well at Lime Rock Park.
Speaking of lap times, Jason Dixon's just crossed the line at a 205.5, and that includes making a pass. So,
yeah. Hello, Sam's daughter. Yeah, he's going to be putting a lot of pressure. That's already a 2-second gain, so that would be a net position already gained for Jason Dixon. Mansarella car will probably be there shortly in the pits, but already you'd be thinking that Dixon's going to make that position, and maybe Arwood as well. So dangerous times now for that pack that was in front originally.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting when they've all made their pit stops just to see how tight they are, because there was probably only 10 car lengths between those 6 guys when they started the pit stops. I know Marty had fallen off a little bit. Ethan Grigg Gold, 205.4 with old tyres. Absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
Got himself a 6.2 second lead back to Mick Cracknell.
This is what he did on.
Yeah.
This is what he did on Saturday. He just crushed him. I think his last lap time was 205 mid. So I'm not sure it's one of his favourite tracks, but as good as Ethan is, and we all know he's very, very good, he is great here. He is in a class of his own here, and tell you what, if you hadn't put money on sports bet or something like that, or a bit of Ladbrokes action, this is where you would have put your money today. So Bo-Cattell comes in the pits. So yeah, that was a pretty quick stop.
Very quick stop.
Well, look quick.
You took the words right out of my mouth, mate. Quick stop.
So obviously he didn't have to take a lot of fuel on. We know he doesn't use as much fuel. I think he right foot brakes compared to the majority that left foot brakes. So that probably saves him just that bit of fuel. But gee, that was a quick stop. I'd like to see the time on that, Mr. Director, if you've got that available to us.
11.5 second stop for Bo-Cattell. Thank you, Hugo.
And how does that compare with Jason Dixon, Mr. Director, please? Because it looked quicker.
Dixon at 12.2, so there you go,
Okay.
0.7 of a second.
Yeah, it's faster, but not significantly faster, isn't
It's
it?
still 0.7 of a second.
You'd rather have it than not have it.
That's what she
And
said.
also and what's happened here is also Bo-Cattell's now come out in that clean air, so he's well clear of Dixon, but he was previously at Dixon's last lap time of 5.9 again. So I would say that's a giveaway there for Mansarella. I'd say that Dixon's already got that position.
Yeah, and if any of our viewers out there, if you want to keep an eye on pit times and other sort of stuff, you can go to timing.racespot.tv, and I think there's actually a link on the broadcast, if I'm correct, Brenton?
I believe there is, the top right corner there, Sam.
No, I don't think there is today.
Not today.
You get that on
Right,
Big
so
Job
Mansarella pitting. So a good stint there by Anthony. He should be pretty happy with how he's gone. But I think he'll be shocked as to how much he's dropped in comparison with Dixon behind him. And Corey comes in really hot as his pit entry as well. I reckon he made a bit of gain there. Josh Rogers into the pit as well. And also behind them, Wayne Kendall pitting as well.
Yeah, well, this will be interesting now to see where everyone comes back out. Just Marty Carroll's coming across the line. I want to see if he's improved at all since his... Oh, he has. 205.9 with fresh tyres.
Yeah,
he was running
20...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see, Mansarella, the last to pit there. Yeah, well, not just Marty, but also Richard and Jason have all cleared out. It's a mistake by Mansarella to stay out that long. He'll have newer tyres, no doubt, but he's got a significant gap to catch now. And also, not just to catch him, but he's also going to pass him. And Jason, even now, 3 laps after his pit at 206.11, certainly isn't looking too slouchy there.
No, but what it has done is brought everyone back into the sights of the other drivers, and they've got something to chase, something to push for again. And I think this battle's going to be back on lap 17.
Well, the other battle we've got to look at now as well is for third position. Marcelo Rivera's in the same boat. The Maverick Welding cars have stayed out probably a bit too long, if you ask me. I'm not on their TS channel, but I would have thought this would be a great opportune time to pit. And they just seem to be dropping a bit of time here. And Mansarella made that mistake. Marcelo Rivera goes around for another lap at 206.33.
Yeah, it's a good second and a half off the pace of even the slower guys with the fresh tyres, so it is substantial. But it could pay dividends later in the race. We'll just have to wait and find out.
Mick Cracknell's in the pits as well, so I don't think there'll be any danger for his second position as Andy Carey pits as well. So I don't think there's any danger here of Cracknell dropping his net second. He looked really, really comfortable. And it's good to see Crackers into a bit of form as well, across the white line on exit there. The F1 stewards wouldn't take too kindly to that. But I reckon he'll get away with that.
No one cares about F1 anymore, mate. Is it even a thing? Do they even race?
Yeah, it's sad but true. I think, fortunately for you, Sammy, I think you're right.
What is this F1 that you speak of?
Used to be great. Nico Rosberg having his little dummy spit this morning.
Who? I'll just leave that alone.
Yeah. In the meantime, 15th battle here, Wayne Kendall, who undershot his pit entry, so actually had to move forward, and just that little 1, maybe 2 second delays now put him right behind Brenton Hobson here. So Hobson, we haven't spoken about him much at all, has done a pretty good job here in the 88 car. And he's a guy who's more often than not these days in the top split and showing some good performances more often than not too. A bit of damage there. I think that was actually that incident with Corey Preston and the Exeter Spoon. Pretty sure it was, and we've got Corey on the back of these guys as well. So Corey was, yeah,
that was
bit of a
big
wobble there.
Corey was Coreying. There's a good little battle here. We know Corey's got pace. He's got a bit of damage. We're not sure how it's affecting his car.
Yeah, our leader's pitting as well, Ethan Goodgolf. Seriously, he could jump out, grab a cup of coffee, you know, get a bite to eat as well, get back in, and I still think he'd be very comfortable.
Well, Corey makes the move there, gets it done. Just Wayne, I think he was just a little bit deep under brakes, really. I'm not sure if he saw that Corey had the pace on him, so he let him go.
Yeah, well, Wayne got past, but also Marcelo Rivera's in the pits. Now, the thing that I'm going to be interested in here is we know Bo Cattell, it looked like he had a really quick stop, and he's put in some quick laps here. And Marcelo made the effort and made the move and got through, but he's just coming out the pits now, and Bo Cattell is well and truly through. So, pretty thinking that the Evolution Racing cars have just held on to their pits probably way too long, and that's certainly going to cost them overall.
Yeah, it will, but there is a lot of laps to go, so it'll be interesting to see if Bo falls off the pace, because looking back at his laps before he pitted, after 12-13 laps he was running in the high 206s, some 208s, 207s. So it's a few seconds a lap as the run goes on, so I think it could be a really interesting battle as this race comes down to the last few laps.
Yeah, I think track position's important though, I'll be honest with you, and yeah, that looks about 3-4 seconds from Bo back to Marcelo, so a lot of work here needed to be done by young Marcelo, but he's certainly got the pace to do it. Yeah,
well, George Maris is going to lead a lap now. He's stayed out, he hasn't pitted yet, everyone else has pitted, and all his hard work is going to pay off for 1 or 2 laps.
Well, he's got the virtual leader in just behind him, Ethan Grigor. Let's see if he tries to hang in there, see if he makes life easy or makes life difficult for Ethan Grigor, but I think we'll be shocked here as to how quick Ethan can do this, or Ethan understeers a bit, so he's actually just in that downforce, just lost all the downforce in the front end there and just understeered at 130R, and geez, I'm hoping that George actually stays out a bit longer here.
I might just duck over to Ethan's team speak and tell him that George has already pitted.
Yeah,
give him a bit of urgency. I've had enough technical issues, mate. I'm not going to push any more right now.
Yeah.
Got a big battle back in the field, man. What are we? Mario Vlasic, maybe, is it? Marty Carroll.
Yeah, well, Marty must have dropped back. I'm actually still looking at this battle for the lead, actually. George Maris and Ethan could go. Yeah, I know that that George hasn't pitted. I know Ethan has, but still, this is still a battle for the lead. And let's just see how much this affects George overall. Ethan's going to take the inside line.
I hope he doesn't.
But let's see if he can hold it.
I hope he doesn't do anything
stupid. Yeah,
the
new tyres. The new tyres will get that job done.
We've seen George miss a few braking points. There he is. See you, George.
Yeah, that will be see you to George. So, but still, he can say he held the lead here for a while. It's not a clean sheet for Ethan Grigor. He hasn't got the Grand Slam after all.
No, I wouldn't be surprised to see George pit right here, actually.
No, I think you'll find him pitting very shortly. Also, Dylan Golson, who's fourth on track at the moment. He hasn't pitted either. I generally think that the cars who have stayed out are really being burnt here today. And you look at the gap between Marcelo and Bo, it's 3.6 seconds, and Bo's last at at 2:05.9. So that slap time is certainly not giving Marcelo a lot of hope to make some gains there. But let's just see how hard Marcelo can go here. But also let's see how much of the tyres he wastes to actually make that gain. Whether he does it slowly and progressively, like you said in the last few laps, he'll have the stronger tyres. But I think it's only 2 laps stronger, but I guess it all adds up. But Marcelo's certainly looked very racy here this week.
Yeah, he has, and we're on the M drivers. Anthony Mansorella and Richard Elwood are going for it back here for P10. Ooh,
Yeah, with
Mansorella sideways, full of opposite lock there. Pretty good save. He hasn't lost too much time.
well, Mansorella was in front of Richard originally, and then, like I said, with that delay in pit stop. So Mansorella's tyres probably, I think, 2 laps newer than Richard's, but he also had the pace originally, so probably think that he might be able to find a way past. But like I said, we know Richard's racecraft is exceptionally good, and like I said, even though he's the only V8 driver, the Mad Cow team are an exceptionally strong team.
Yeah, just be interesting to see whether Marty Carroll's actually catching up a little bit here. Just going to try and find Marty's lap times.
Yeah, well,
He's back in the
last
6,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, 6.6 last lap or 6.5 for Mansorella. So yeah, negative really, but
Yeah.
it's certainly not significant. He's got our mate Mario behind him. I don't think Mario's... Yeah, no, Mario pitted lap 16. Yeah, my mate, everyone's mate Mario.
Mario. Good little battle going on with Brenton Hobson and Wayne Kendall still as well.
I'm really surprised George Maris hasn't pitted yet. Hey, like he's starting to hammer his times a little bit.
Yeah.
I would have thought, if I was his spotter, I'd say playtime's finished in regards to having your nose in the front, but a 6.9 last lap, and this lap doesn't look like it's any faster. So he did so much work he was up early, got dropped a bit through incident, and then worked his way up again. I think he's about to drop off again. So
yeah, well, you know what this will do? This will probably, all that hard work he did earlier, when he pits and comes out, he's going to come straight back out in the middle of all that pack of those guys racing. So
yeah, well, this guy drives for ANZ, and they don't choose too many slouch drivers, and he's going around again. Yeah, I'm thinking now this is a pretty bad mistake. A 6.888 last lap for him, Cracknell behind him, a 5.4. So that's 1.4 seconds that lap alone.
who have we got coming out of the pits? Is that 40?
Oh.
It is.
Uh-oh.
Ian Ford's back out of the pits.
I don't think Ford was too happy with what happened
earlier.
at the chicane there. Probably...
Keep an eye on this, Hugo.
Yeah, probably might have been a brake check or two, or just, defended. I thought he defended pretty fair. Probably might have put the brakes on a bit early, but I might go have a chat, I think.
No, just let the race play out as it does, mate. Oh, he's already gone. Well, while Brenton's off trying to stop any foul play, we're just going to keep an eye on this. Ian Ford, even with his damaged car, can't really catch him right here.
Yeah, well, I've just...
I think as a commentator, mate, you need to just call the race, let them do what the boys have at it.
No, I don't want anything happening to George. Ian's a zillion laps behind. He's 12 laps down. I don't want him getting involved. And George is racing for position. And, these two had an incident at the start of the race. But crying out loud, every time you don't want to be putting too much pressure on if you have every incident.
Sideways there.
Yeah, I'm just going to stick with this a little bit longer. I just want to see if George was smart right now, he'd be pitting right now.
Yeah, definitely.
This is the time to pit, George, and he doesn't. So this is getting a little bit silly here. A little bit silly. A 6.50 he just ran then.
He's doing a Clint Boyer.
Yeah, there's nothing to gain by staying out. He's just losing so much time. every lap now, and I don't think he wants to be involved with this. But to be fair, Ford hasn't touched him, and he is just racing behind him.
Fordy wouldn't wreck him, but I think Fordy just like to get in his mirrors a bit, just to say, "Hey, buddy."
I'm also looking up here at Bo Cattell and Marcelo Rivera. Marcelo Rivera's last lap was a 5.3. So, big gap there. Just had a question come through. Is there any chance of a no stop? Well, yeah, there is a chance of a no stop. I don't think George is saving enough fuel. I think you got to get down to about 3.5 litres a lap. And at the lap times that George is doing, he's not going to be doing a no stop, I wouldn't think. I think he'll come up short.
And
so,
like
Marcelo Rivera's...
Mick Cracknell is closing in on him, and where was he before this? Around P9, 10, something like that.
Well, no, he wasn't. He was with Anthony Manzarella and co. Amongst that battle, he actually was probably about 3 seconds in front of Manzarella and Carroll, etc. So I think he's going to lose a lot of time compared to them.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if he is trying to fuel save a bit now. He's stayed out 23 laps of 32 laps. No. There's no way. There's no other reason that you would stay out so long, except thinking maybe you can make it.
He's not going to make it. I'm telling you right now. I've been on his car a few times to have a look, and he's racing it way too hard to be making 32 laps. Unless he's planning on going a lap down, he won't make it.
He might have a jerry can in the back, and he's in the pits.
Hasn't. If he has, he's about to use it. He's about to get out and fill it up. Good move by George to pit now whilst the car was behind him. I think the tactical area is just waiting too long. He'll come out and he'll fly. There's no doubt about that. Lap 24, Dylan Golson, I think also has probably waited too long there. So these guys are going to make a big net loss after this, but they might take on a bit less fuel.
Yeah, Golson's in the pits as well. I'm just going to keep an eye on George, see where he comes out.
Well, Andy Carey has already gone through, so he wasn't that far. I think he was only 6 seconds.
Here comes George.
Yeah, he was only 6 seconds behind Carey. So he's probably a bit more than that. And here comes the charging back of Aylwood, Manzarella, Carroll and Vlasic. So he's got his nose out in front of them, so...
Yeah.
I still think it's a net loss overall, because Dixon's got through him. So Dixon was the first to pit, and Dixon is the big benefactor of the early pit stop. That's going to kind of set him up, though. Dixon's pit stop, it seemed like it was a long time ago, only because it was lap 12 was his pit stop. So Dixon's tyres are twice as old as they were when he pitted. So lap 24 now, so I would expect George will get to Dixon pretty quick. A 6.5 last lap for Dixon. I'd be thinking George here, just with his raw pace that he's got here this week.
Yeah, and, well, his best lap time of the day is a 2:05.0 on the second lap, so he's definitely capable of that.
Yeah, I think he'll scrape that again just quietly. Might even better it with the track rubbering up. And that's also the same here with Dylan and Corey. Dylan's just come out in front of Corey here, and I would think with the new tyres here that Dylan will probably drive away. Yeah, the exit here is going to be a lot better for Dylan.
Oh, Corey. Oh, big wheel.
Corey pitted lap 17, so his tyres aren't exactly ancient by any means.
No, and Dylan's tyres have got to come up to temperature here. Corey's on the inside. Oh, they both lock up a brake.
Dylan's driving that thing pretty nervous with Corey next to him right there. I think that would have been a late call from the spotter. Yeah,
not just in a race car.
He's a self-confessed alien, mate. And,
that's true.
Poor old Corey put a post up this week about being an alien from his pole position, and I think I knew where he was coming from. He was talking about something.
Wasn't it? Yeah, it wasn't. He was not talking about his pole position.
No, he wasn't.
That's how it came.
But the boys,
across,
the boys being boys, they had a bit of banter about it. It was all good fun, a bit friendly, but geez, he set himself up.
Take me to your leader, Corey.
In the meantime,
my
the battle
daughter
with
just looked at
Hobson
me
and
like I'm an idiot.
Oh, that's because you are. Hobson and Kendall continue their battle as well. This is a position 15 here where they cross the strike lap 15. Look at the lap times, 2:10.5. That's pedestrian compared to up the front, but these guys got a bit of damage as well. And yeah, that team that Kendall's in there, the Rat Corp team there, yeah, they're getting stronger and stronger. Young Josh Rogers, we haven't spoken about him at all this race, but he's again in 5th place, and to be honest with you, he doesn't look like he's going to go anywhere. It looks like he's going to be able to hold on to that 5th should he maintain things as they are now.
Yeah, I'm still got my eye on this Corey Preston battle.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you on this one. That 6 Boost Falcon.
Not so clean.
Ooh.
Oh, here we go.
Boost
Corey's
Falcon
got a
looks
huge
like a bit
run.
of a mess.
Going to pass him before he even gets to the apex there.
Yeah, I think he's worried Dylan out of that a little bit. Well, so Corey's through cleanly, so moves up in position. So 13's down. This is the guy who started last on the grid. Didn't see what dramas he had, if any, in qualifying. There was no time entered, whether he just had a bunch of messy laps or something similar, or just chasing that pole position 2 out of 2 and just, you know, full on attack, and good luck to him for that.
So, just an update. Our leader, Ethan Grigg Gold, STC Motorsports, got an 11.2 seconds back to Mick Cracknell, his teammate there. And 3rd, still Bo Cattell, another 11 seconds behind Mick Cracknell. So, that's your top 3 on lap 25.
I hope your daughter starts to feel better soon, mate. She's, just for viewers, Sammy's daughter's home from school. They're sick, poor thing. So,
I think she's wagging it a bit,
playing
mate.
it.
She doesn't look real
Playing
sick
it.
to me right now.
Yeah.
Big smile on her face.
Yeah, well, she's got you there, mate.
Oh, well,
But
I was
they're
lying
battle
in
for
bed
third.
quite happy, mate. And when the wife came up and said she's sick, I was like,
Yeah. The battle
Women.
for third's
Women.
heated up. Yeah, Bo Cattell again with a lot of pressure from Marcelo Rivera. Oh,
ooh.
geez, Marcelo put so much pressure on the brakes here, and Bo was able to hold that under the hairpin. Just the rear's just locked up. I'd imagine right now as we speak, Bo's changing that brake bias because that looked pretty messy there, and the whole way around that long left there, that's a long turn 12. Marcelo didn't look like he had grip the entire way there. It looked like he had wheel spin, but was able to keep up. And let's just see the drive.
Bit of wheel spin by Bo, yeah. He might
Yeah.
have a run here.
I don't reckon he's going to be able to get to him between here and 130R. This will be good under brakes here. All he's going to do is show his nose. Whoa,
They're
both
both
late.
making mistakes.
Let's see the drive out.
Oh,
It's a clear
big crossover.
No? Yeah, but he's parked it on the racing line. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, what did I say? I didn't say
But
there was,
he's-
mate. Got to stop defending your boys. It's just good racing.
No. I was actually defending
Good
Bo
run.
Cattell because
Here he
Bo
goes.
put it on the racing line, and there's nothing wrong with what Bo did at all. I'm not defending my boys. I'm
No.
defending Bo.
Oh,
Wow.
this is good. Good battle. Side by
Let's see who
side.
gets the better drive out here.
They're both sideways.
Oh,
Still side by side. This is good racing.
if you can stick with this here, I reckon Marcelo will come out on top if he can stick with that.
maybe
He
not.
didn't. He had so much wheel spin there.
Has the tuck back in. That was good. That would have been fun section right there for both the boys. And it's definitely not over.
Yeah, well, we're not going to be leaving this action because this is just going to get bigger and bigger. And as they approach the Degners here, I'm sure if Marcelo gets through, he'll be up and away. But he's got to get through. As we know, catching's one thing's passing another. Bo just looks a bit messy through the Degners, doesn't he? So much pressure on it, even the wheel spin here.
Let's see if he can get it done here. Bo's going to hold the inside. Yes. Great under braking by both of them. It's like one makes a mistake, the other makes a mistake. One nails the corner, the next one nails the corner. This is great racing.
A little piece of me thinks this is going to end in tears for one of them. These guys are right on the limit here. And lap 27, you don't go on the grass.
Big
there,
dive,
Bo.
big dive. Oh, beautiful. Good driving, boys.
The wheel spin again by Bo. These tyres are being lit up for
He
sure.
loves
The
it.
temperatures.
Bo loves a
Yeah,
bit
he
of
does.
gentle, doesn't
Yeah, he does. And you saw what he did at Bathurst a few weeks ago. It was spectacular what he did.
he? Pretty much drifted the whole track for 10 laps.
He's got such good control of his car when it's loose. He of a loose car, he probably controls it as well as anyone. Those cars just bounce terribly over that chicane. They hit any of those curbs there. You get
taking as
seasick
much
looking
as
at
they
that.
can.
This is a great battle between the SSR and the ERA cars here. Lap 28, lap times have become irrelevant here. These guys, one's full on defence, one's full on attack. They went side by side last time through the S's, not on this occasion.
No, what have they got? 4.5, 5 laps to go.
Yeah, and this is going to go all the way to end if unless there's some dramas prior to that.
They're both just taking a deep breath here. Marcelo's just going to be thinking a little bit, alright, where am I faster than him? Where have I got a better drive? And where will be the best place to make the pass? There is no hurry. There's still time.
Yeah, but as every lap goes by,
Just.
yeah, he's got the pace. He's got the newer tyres, but just sitting in all that hot air, just losing that downforce as well is just going to hurt those tyres more and more each lap, isn't it? So, yeah, Marcelo's going to be pretty keen to get this job done sooner before later. But Bo's driving as attacking as Bo looks in his driving style. He's driving the car really well defensively, and these guys right out in the white painted line there on that exit, they wouldn't want to go any further than that because it's a one-way trip to the fence.
Yeah, and this is for P3, remember. This isn't for P10. This is for a podium, so both boys want to be up on that.
And let's put it in perspective. Ethan Griggold, we don't need to show him. We said we wouldn't see him much this race. He's 13 seconds up on his teammate. And Crackers is 14 seconds up on these two. But I guarantee you who's having more fun. Tell you what, a strong lap here by Bo though. He seems to have spaced Marcelo just a little bit.
Yeah, he has. Marcelo, he just closes up a little bit there under brakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at the drive, yeah. Bo just drives away on these strong straights.
Yeah, Rolly's, sorry, that's his nickname in the team, Rolly. He's certainly a lot quicker, I think, in the casino triangle there. But, gee whiz, it's lap 29 now, and he's wide here. And just having a look at it, I'm just wondering whether Marcelo's got some problems with his pedals, because we've seen, and picked up by our director, thank you, that his brakes seem to be coming on whilst he's on the straight. So that could be just that little tenth here, a little hundredth there, that all adds up, because as each moment passes now, Cattell just looks a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, I'm just going to have a little look here. I know it can be a habit just to rest your feet on the brake pedal a little bit. Just have a look on the replay here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, so...
They definitely flickered.
Yep.
They flickered on early a little bit. I don't know whether they're dragging, but he might have some issues.
We've also
He has lost
Dylan,
a bit of...
We've also lost Dylan Golson as well. Didn't see what happened there. I'll just chase up and have a look. No, I can't actually see anything wrong with what Dylan's done. Hang on, we'll go back to lap 26. Hang on. Oh, I think he's just dropped out, unfortunately. So we've lost Dylan Golson, unfortunately. He was down in 9th position previous to that. So a good run by Dylan most of the race there.
Back onto the Bo Cattell and Marcelo Rivera battle. Like, all credit to Bo there, actually, and taken away from him a bit. He's just done a 205.8 last time by. So, yeah, I don't know if Marcelo's having issues or whether Bo's just cocked the hammer.
Yeah, well, he's not exactly rolling over and playing dead, is he? And the pressure was on there. They went 2 by 2 into the S's. And again, Marcelo, those
He
brake
was 2
lights
tenths
came
quicker
on.
that lap, Marcelo.
Yeah, those brake lights came on again
closed
down
the
the
gap.
straight there. I was specifically looking for that. Yeah, his brakes are coming on in unusual places, shall we say.
Yeah, especially when I'm watching so I can see both cars. And yeah, Marcelo's brakes are coming on where Beau's aren't. But that could just be driver habit, just resting them just a little bit, especially if you've got a load cell brake. And it can just activate the lights without actually putting any braking force into the pedals. Oh, they both grab as much curb as they can.
Well, you can really
Closing
attack
back
the
up.
deckness. You can really attack the deckness in these cars. They handle those curbs so well, but you want to stay away from this inside curb here, where wow, that's deep. That was so deep. Let's just see how much he suffers on the exit, though. Not a lot, to be honest with you. This is the part where they go right out normally to the outside here. They don't leave a lot of
Oh,
room.
he's hit the grass. Oh,
He didn't leave any room.
snapped on him.
Tell you what, he put half a tyre there on the grass and another half, and it was all over Red Rover.
Yeah, it was a good save. He didn't lose too much time either.
But it looks like a pretty good recovery here. Like you said, Beau with the 5.8 not long ago, and Marcelo seems to be coming back. Maybe has just given those tyres a bit of a breather, and now is putting himself again his decent draft here, and at 130R makes some good gains as well. So this is going to light up again soon.
I'm just hearing from a secret source that I've got that Marcelo did have a few brake issues last week as well. It looks like he might have resolved them now, and he's back on the bumper of Beau with 2 laps to go.
Well, if Marcelo had pedal problems, I didn't know about it, so there you go.
There's a lot you don't know, mate.
Oh, that's probably true, mate. And to be honest with you, there's a lot that I don't want to know.
That's true. But let's see if he can get himself on the podium here. Last lap by Marcelo, 206.0. Beau Cattell, 206.1. So there's another 10th there.
Well, this is the battle of the race. Maris and Aylward. Oh no, that's dragged out a bit. I think Maris actually just overtook off camera Richard Aylward, so another position. Oh no. Actually no, he was behind Dixon before, so held station there. So this is the battle of the race right here on the iRacing Live with RaceSpot TV covering. This is round 6, and we're drawing to a close. This is lap 31 of a 32 lap race. So there's still a bit of action to go here as Marcelo Rivera exits the second Degner. And there's still something brewing here. You can just sense it. And he's so much better under brakes here at the hairpin.
Excellent under brakes. He closes the gap right up. Can he get the power down? Not quite as well as Beau did.
Tell you what, with the 1 lap to go after this, if Marcelo's car length closer to
Probably have
Beau,
a go.
oh, it's there, isn't it? It really is.
Yep.
He's significantly better under brakes there. And he's really driving the wheels off this thing now. So as they exit Spoon...
Beau just hasn't made a mistake the last 3 or 4 laps at all.
No, but Beau's a very accomplished driver, and like I said, this is the guy who won last week, and he's won numerous races in this series in other seasons, so you know, he's certainly no slouch, and does a great job week in, week out. But geez, the second half of the lap here by Beau, that exit on the Spoon, just got an unbelievable drive away and just takes the pressure away, and really now it's hard work from here, you'd think, for Marcelo to get past Beau.
Yeah, he's definitely too far back. Unless Beau makes a mistake. But, you know, like you said, Beau is a pro, and he'll be able to hold it together.
We probably remiss. We probably should show a little bit of the number 1 car, the SDC Simpit racing car of Ethan Griggold.
I'll tell you what. Marty Carroll, Mario Vlasic, we've got a little battle on here. Forget Egg. We've seen enough of him.
Hey, where credit's due for Ethan Griggold. He exits the hairpin for the last time, and as I said, when it comes to his pit stop, he could have got out, had a coffee and made himself some dinner and still got in and been comfortable, and so is the case here with the last half a lap to go. Tell you what, this is a very, very strong performance by a very, very good driver, and he's raised his level. I think he's raised his level since he had his little break and he went to Bathurst, and he's put in a lot of laps this week from like I said, from what I understand, and he's put the work in, and he's certainly going to get the results here. 130R, you could switch the car off from here and still win the race, I would imagine. So as Ethan Griggold still pushing hard, his last lap was actually a 2:05.2 if you don't mind. But Ethan Griggold exits the last turn here and takes the checkered flag for the winner of round 6 of the iRacing V8 official Supercar Championship. Congratulations to him. That was a dominant performance, and he is pretty happy about that, lighting up even his last lap, a 2:05.3, a fantastic effort.
Yeah, great job, great drive, Ethan Griggold.
And Mick Cracknell as well, second place. He should be happy with that, and a really good effort. In the meantime, Bo Cattell is going to be able to hold off Marcelo Rivera quite comfortably. In the end, it would appear a bit of drift action by the boys as they exit the last turn, third and fourth for Marcelo. And Josh Rogers, we didn't talk much about him, but another 5th position is a fantastic job, and looks like both decided to put it into the fence. Andy Carey, didn't talk much about him either, drove pretty much by himself. This is the guy who won the early race today, has backed it up with a really, really good 6th position, that Maverick loaded car. Andy gets stronger every week. He was away a long time from iRacing. The pit strategy of Jason Dixon certainly paid off. 7th place, George Maris, lots of action for him throughout the race. Great to have him back. Good to see him in the V8, and in 8th, Richard Arwood in 9th, I think it is. And a good finish there with Marty Carroll and Mario Vlasic as well. I'll be back to 6. Sorry about that, back again. So the results for round 6 on the screen in front of Ethan Griggold, dominant position. Just over an hour race there, 1 hour and 7 minutes. In fact, a dominant position over his teammate Mick Cracknell. Never really challenged, to be honest, with Bo Cattell. We saw the battle he had at the end there with Marcelo Rivera. Josh Rogers, 5th place. Congratulations to him. He gets better and better every week. Andy Carey, Jason Dixon, George Maris, Richard Aylward in the 9th position, and Marty Carroll, the birthday boy. So make sure you send Marty a happy birthday message on Facebook. Minute 8 behind his teammate Mario Vlasic. Pretty clean tonight. Well done to him. Matt Sorella dropped down a bit from that pit strategy. I think might have made a late mistake as well. Jeremiah Morton, LIT Motorsports. In 13th place, Ellis Teal, Corey Preston, Brenton Hobson. Didn't see you actually. Brent Hobson must have dropped out at the end there with Corey Preston, Dylan Golson, Wayne Kendall, and Ian Ford. So that is the positions for what was a drama-filled race. From go to O there, really, that 32 laps of V8 action there, and fantastic to see the boys getting out and playing pretty hard, and most of all playing pretty fair. So we'll go straight to the interviews if that's all right. We'll get Corey Preston in with us. Corey started from last on the grid this week. Hang on 2 secs. Yep, no. So Corey Preston, they're both 6, Ford Falcon, 19th on the grid today. And Corey, welcome to the broadcast. We were keeping our eyes on you for the first few laps, and tell you what, you put it on, mate, and made about 6 or maybe 7 positions really early, then had a bit of dramas. Tell us a bit about the race.
Yeah, I was on a blinder of a Q lap and got through 130R and just went that little bit wide onto the AstroTurf and nulled it. So back of the grid for me, and yeah, I made some places up, and then something happened up in front, and I saw smoke, and I was following, I think, Richard, and then all of a sudden a car popped out in front of me, and I had to take a bit of evasive action, and that just set my race up for disaster, really. And because about half a lap later, it just all went pretty south very quickly. But,
Yeah. I noticed. Yeah, sorry. At Spoon, I noticed that you went a little bit wide, came back onto the track. I can't remember who it was that you gave it. Was it Ellis? Yeah, Ellis Teal, that you might have come into the side of, and then after that, Brenton Hobson tagged on the exit as well. And I'm pretty sure it was just a racing incident. But if you have a look at that, and this is what we're talking about in the broadcast, the net code on these Australians, well, it's not Australian servers, the Australian races at the moment is pretty real, and it looked like there was a few net code issues there tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to be about as level-headed as I can be, and to be honest, running these races on American servers, I was pretty in support of it to begin with, because, I was thinking about everybody, but these last couple of weeks, this has to stop. It's utter crap. Mine and Hobson's lag hit was just inexcusable. But yeah, I copped a little bit of a hit from the guy I was trying to pass, and yeah, that set me sideways. And then what made matters worse was trying to rejoin the road. It looped on me, so that wasn't a careless re-entry by me. That was the car saying goodbye. But the absolute main thing in this race is I gained spots. I don't care where I finished, I gained spots.
Well, that's good, mate. I know the race had some technical issues there for you, mate. We're going to keep moving, but mate, next week, where are we off to next week? I actually didn't even check my diary, I must admit.
Brands
Tell us where
Hatch.
we are next. Brands Hatch next week. Well, a few of the Aussie guys will be sick of Brands Hatch after the Blancpain Endurance Series all week this week. But yeah, Brands Hatch on the next week. What do you think of that track?
I love Brands Hatch. I got a mate over in Scotland, actually. He likes it as well. I'm trying to con him into getting into the V8, but he's like, no, I'm never getting into the V8. So we'll see. We'll see how long it takes for him to do a lap. But yeah, Brands Hatch is pretty good. Especially the GP. I like the fast flowing back section, but the Indy would be pretty good in this car, I reckon too. So.
Well, speaking of Indy, I've heard a few rumours, Brenton. I heard you might be running the Indy Fixed Series next season.
You're
that's what I heard. And Corey just mentioned your friend in Scotland, mate. Just give him a break. He might be still crying after the rugby, mate.
Oh, well, good thing for me is he couldn't care less about rugby or soccer, so I'm pretty much in the clear. He likes motorsport.
All right. Well,
too easy. Six Boost Motorsport. Corey Preston. A few dramas tonight, but yeah, I guess he had a bit of a incident-filled race. Just going to go through quickly now. Jeremiah Morton with us. We didn't get to see Jeremiah much tonight, but he rode very casual, comfortable 13th position for LIT Motorsports. Jeremiah, welcome, I think, for the first time to RaceSpot's broadcast of the V8 Supercar action here at Suzuka Circuit. Mate, tell us a bit about your race.
Oh, it was a quite a quiet race for me out the back. I didn't have many cars around me, and so I just put my head down and tried to drive nice consistent laps. It was really hot out there tonight, so keeping the concentration levels up was really tough.
And the car itself, mate, I know you've got an association now, you're getting setups every week. How did that work for week number 1 here at Suzuka?
Yeah, the car felt great. The car was perfect under brakes. Seemed to react really well to turning in as well. So it was lovely to have it hooked up and have a nice setup, which is nice and sturdy and does the job.
And the LIT sports team, mate, to be honest with you, I haven't seen a lot of them lately. How's the team travelling?
Yeah, the team's going alright. We're just going through a bit of reshuffling of drivers and a bit of organising in that regard. But yeah, we're going well. And yeah, we've got a few drivers making it into the Monday night races, which is nice.
Very good, mate. We're going to keep moving, mate. But Brands Hatch next week, mate. Looking forward to seeing you there with a bit of luck.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you.
Good job, Jeremiah Morton there. Pretty lonely 13th place, but got himself to the finish. Let's go. Marcelo Rivera is with us, the Maverick Welding Evolution Racing Australia. Marcelo Rivera, welcome to the broadcast, mate. Adventurous race. May have stayed out a bit too long on those tyres, and that probably what cost you in the end.
Yeah, hey guys, it was definitely a very good race to be involved with. Had a lot of fun battling with Bo, but yeah, maybe just staying out those extra couple laps did cost me, as track position is very important around here because it's not that easy to overtake. But overall, I'm really pleased with how I went.
Yeah, well, fourth place considering you had bad net code errors in the first race and also your dramas at 3 o'clock this morning. Wow, for the Blancpain series, back to bed for most people there. But it was good to get a finish under your belt, mate. And fourth place is a good result.
Yeah, at least I did manage to get one good result out of 3 races, so it's good to end on a good note. But that was definitely one of the most entertaining races for myself. Going side by side with Bo for a few corners there, it was keeping me very tight on my steering wheel. But hopefully it was good to watch for you guys as well.
Well, it was. We were on board most of the trip through those S's there. You guys were running side by side. The weather today, a lot of wheel spin we saw getting on the power, and there was one time in particular where you just at that long right, the turn 12, where we're just saying how wide you do go, and you just clipped that grass on the outside, mate. Another half tyre width, it was all over for you. But mate, the car control between yourself and Bo today was outstanding.
Yeah, there were definitely a few moments there. The weather wasn't the best for us either. It certainly makes it a whole lot more interesting. Putting the power down anyway, with the less grip that you get in these hot weather. But yeah, it was definitely a highlight of a race because I was just battling the whole way through, kept it clean, managed to avoid that big incident with the pack earlier on. I actually outbroke myself quite big heading into that last chicane and only just missed Bo Cattell. I had to go to the left and just run wide, cut the track and take my slow down.
Well, mate, I hear your phone pinging off in the background, so Ashley's probably on Facebook for you. So say good day to Ashley. And, mate, Brands Hatch next week. Looking forward to see yourself and the team out there.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Just thanks to Maverick for being the main sponsors for us in the V8s, and Demidov, of course. And thanks to the team. And if you're watching, Ashley, thanks for your support. One day,
go Ashley.
Win, eh?
Yeah. Oh, don't do that to me, Marcelo. Yeah, cheers, mate, and good luck next week. I'm thinking all sorts of evil thoughts at the moment. I'm too old to be thinking those. Where are we? Bo Cattell.
We are live.
Yeah, Bo Cattell is with us. We are live. Bo Cattell's with us, SSR car. Bo, welcome to the broadcast, mate. Third position, backing up your strong win last week, mate. Congratulations. Good job tonight, mate.
Yeah, that was a tough one, guys. Thanks for that. Very, very hectic race and a lot of pressure. So no, it was really good fun, and props to Marcelo. We both, touched each other a few times there, but didn't fence each other, so it's good.
Mate, your car control at Bathurst, I think the car was, I'm not sure if you've been practicing your drifting lately, but at Bathurst the car was probably more sideways than forwards, and even tonight, mate, the rear grip just seemed to be disappearing, or you're just on the power just so early, but she looked a bit skatey out there for you.
Yeah, it's not my favourite track at all. Anything fast and flowy isn't really me, so things like Phillip Island and this track, but yeah, I'd set the car up 100% for turn and minimal traction just because I can't deal with understeer, so I had to really manage the rear grip, and it was quite hard. But yeah, very, very intense race and very close moment on lap 3 with Ian and Maris there, so it was good.
Yeah, a few issues there, and I think ultimately also a big netcode problem between Ian and Josh Rogers, I think it was. But mate, getting back to you, I know with a few laps to go, Marcelo was able to get alongside you through those S's, mate, but no contact made throughout that little stanza there, mate. So it was good close racing between the two of you.
Yeah, it was it was really good, and I wouldn't expect anything less of Marcelo. He's been around a long time, but I did know when I pitted 4 laps earlier than him, I knew it'd be. Well, I knew the tyres hit a point here and they just drop, and your lap time stays about the same after that. And I knew if I could keep him behind for those, 4 laps, his tyres would sort of hit that wall as well, and we'd both be stuck doing the same lap time. So held him, and it sort of was what happened. So it's good.
Yeah, well, that's good effort, mate. And yeah, the pit tactics, I think you called the right call. The earlier stops certainly paid off. Jason Dixon was another one. He pitted that before all of his and made big gains, whereas George Maris pitted last out of all of you and made losses there at the end. Mate, Brands Hatch next week. How do you find that track?
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's a little flowy as well, but I think I'll be quicker there than I am here. Like, finishing 30 seconds off the leader isn't ideal, but it should be a bit closer there.
Yeah, but I think Ethan's in a world of his own at this track, mate. He's shown unbelievable pace all week. Well, mate, is there anyone you want to thank at all?
Yeah, just the usual crew. You guys at Race Spot. All the guys that turn up to race me every week. My team, SSR and ANZ. And yeah, that's about it.
Well, Bo, good job tonight, mate, and looking forward to you. I think, what are you up to now? 3rd in the championship, are you? I'm pretty sure I saw that.
Yeah, I could be. I'm
Yep.
a few rounds down, though.
Yeah, I haven't been able to catch up. So, well, mate, good job tonight, and yeah, look forward to seeing you and SSR team next week.
Yeah, see you then, guys. Thanks very much.
Cheers, Bo. Just going to have Ethan Grigorp and in particular Mick Cracknell here. Mick, welcome to round 6 of RaceSpot TV's coverage of the official iRacing V8 Supercar Championship. Mate, great result. Good to have you back in the seat and doing a good job in second place tonight, Mick.
Yeah, thanks, Brendan, Hugo, Sam. Yeah, no, I was wrapped with second. I knew I had pace here all week, but to get second behind Ethan, yeah, pretty happy.
Those STC cars, they really did look dialed in tonight, mate. So how much practice have you guys put in this week? Like I said, the STC cars, I called it before the race started. You guys look a level above everybody else tonight.
Yeah, we put in a little bit over the week, and we had some input from Bo Kubis and also Jason Quire with the setup as well, and sort of threw a few things together, and this is what we come up with. So for me, it was really good.
And mate, after the disaster that was last season, you fought back pretty well this season, I reckon, mate. And yeah, the luck was always going to change, but you make your own luck to a point. So what do you put it down to? Right place, right time, or just sticking with it?
No, just sticking with it, I think. Yeah, for some reason this season seems to be a lot better than last season. I mean, last season was a disaster, but I mean, so far this season it's been pretty good. So I'm just hoping I can sort of continue it and continue getting good results.
And also with us today in the broadcast, we have today's winner, Ethan Griggold. Welcome to the broadcast, round 6 winner. Mate, Mick Cracknell, your teammate, did a great job, second on the grid, second in the race, but there wasn't a lot of pressure there, mate. Congratulations on what was a fantastic drive.
Yeah, thanks for that. To be honest, it was quite a boring race. I kind of dozed off halfway through and noticed Crackers was catching up to me, so I kind of had to put down the pace a bit more. But yeah, came into this weekend only buying the track on Thursday night, so I'd never done a lap here in any sim before. I come in thinking it was going to be a horrible track. I was going to hate it because it wouldn't suit the V8 at all, but I ended up I actually really quite like the tracks. Some of the curbs you can smash is very V8-esque, and I like the flow to it in the first sector.
And after your big weekend at Mount Panorama a couple of weeks ago, mate. No doubt the bit of fire in the belly to get out there and punch a few laps, mate. And geez, that puts you in a strong position overall for the championship again.
Yeah, but being out of the seat from the sim for 2 weeks doesn't sound like too long, but when you're watching the real things go around in circles every day for 4 days, you kind of want to jump in and cut as many laps as you want. So, yeah, it's great to be back and putting down results for us. And a great happy birthday out to Marty today. He's now an even older bugger. So,
well, we're gonna actually talk about that shortly. And no, Marty, I'm not singing happy birthday to you as we welcome you to the broadcast, and I'm not expecting you to read out your telegram from the Queen today, mate, but happy birthday, old boy.
That's not till next year.
I thought it was is it a telegram from the Queen? I thought you said a fatagram. That's why I was a bit confused.
No, thanks for all the birthday wishes, boys, and big thanks to Ethan, an outstanding job by Crackers, the best birthday present could have tonight. So the boys really dug in.
I could think of a lot better.
Yeah, me too. But I've been a busybody and finally settled into a new place and stuff and a new job. So the boys really stepped up this week, and they set it up themselves and went out there and raced it and kicked ass, and couldn't have been prouder.
Yeah, mate, the team's been stretched at the moment with the Blancpain series as well, so a good effort there by yourself and the team. And off to Brands Hatch next week, and I'll throw to you, Crackers, if that's all right, mate. I think it's a pretty easy week for external races this week, mate, so plenty of V8 concentration perhaps for you this week.
Yeah, Brands Hatch probably isn't as one of my strong tracks like Suzuka is, but we'll see what happens. Looking forward to it. So we'll try and go get him again.
And to you, Ethan, mate, as we're talking about the championship before, what's that? 3 out of 3 out of 6 race wins now. Shared a couple with 40 and one with Bo-Catel. So it's put you in again in a strong position, mate, and look forward to seeing what you can produce the rest of the series.
yeah, unfortunately, 2 of those races I wasn't even there, so can't really compete with that. But I'm really looking forward to Brands Hatch next week. Only been there in season 1 and loved every second of it, so should be good.
No, that's good. Well, I reckon that's about it for us, Sammy, if you're even alive.
Man.
There you are. Oh, Alvin and the Chipmunks are back. But I reckon Hugo, that might see us out if that's okay. And it's an exciting race tonight. Not so much up the front, but certainly that mid-pack action was going on, and the battle between Bo-Catel and Marcelo Rivera. Sorry, I just got some background happenings at the moment.
It's all happening.
Was strong at the end. Hugo, if you're there, start cueing some music, my friend. Thank you very much. Don't let me hanging.
Thanks, boys. Great race.
Like to thank my co-commentator Sam Compton for getting here late and putting the show on in between. Hugo Louise, thank you again, my friend, for directing to all the crew at RaceSpot. The viewers out there, make sure you keep up to date with the goings on at the V8 Supercar action here at iRacing.com. And it's Brett O'Brien and Sam Compton signing out and wishing you a really good week. We will meet you next week for round 7. I've got something going, I'll show you shortly. It's round 7 of the V8 action here on iRacing.com.
Sayonara.